2-game winning streak. We have scored a lot of goals. I probably should have looked up the official stat with how many goals we've scored and let up, but I think they said that it was the most goals scored in the last 5 or 10 games in the history, or in the last 50 years of the NHL by a team. So that's good and bad.
Well, that part's good.
Yeah, that part's good. And last night, we're going to be going over a little bit the post game for the last 2 games because they were pretty similar, honestly, between the Kraken and the Blue Jackets. We had a great start, then gave up a lead, and then clutched it in the final.
Yeah.
Let's
notorious.
Yeah, very hard for my heart. But these are the teams that we need to beat. And after Buffalo and Vancouver, it was like, come on. That's why it hurts so bad for so many Leafs fans, because like this is who we need to beat. The final stretch of the season, we have Florida and Boston and Tampa all the time. So we got to get these games up because it's going to be a dogfight, and home ice advantage is going to be huge for the playoffs. But what were your thoughts on the last 2 games?
It's such a roller coaster. Like, I'm happy tweeting like, oh yeah, we're dominating in the first again. And then by the third, I'm like, I actually hate this team so much. And like Din had similar feelings where he's like, oh, this is too easy. And then all of a sudden it's like, this team's ass, like, send help. Mm-hmm. And oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so awesome and so terrible at the same time. It's hard to pinpoint how good they are.
Yeah.
But I think we can all agree they're the best because we have Matthews.
Yeah, we'll get to Matthews in a second, but my opinion is, and I tweeted this, I was like, this is what's so frustrating with this team, is that we all know this is what they can play like. Talking about the first period of the Canucks game.
Yep.
The thing is, like, because then people can say, well, yeah, they also play badly, but I don't necessarily think that they have played badly for stretches. I think that there's been bounces not going their way, and also just like they'll have a bad play, they'll have a bad play and it will result in a goal. And early in the season, they would have a bad play and Jack Campbell would bail them out. He's not doing that right now. So it's not like we're going from the best, like the dominant team to the other team being dominant. We're going from the dominant team to the other team getting some bounces.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because there's never like a really long stretch where like we can't get it out of our zone.
Yeah.
So the only problem we have is when they are in our zone, the teams either score on a 2-on-1 or we don't push the guy, like, whoever's in front of the net. We don't get him out of the way. Yeah. So those are the 2 like major concerns: are 2-on-1s and getting the guy away from the net.
Yeah. And that's just we haven't really been, I can't remember the last time that we've been dominated for an entire game, let alone an entire period. I'm sure it's happened. It just hasn't been for a little bit. We've also played some bad teams recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there would just be times when the JT Miller line would just have a good shift, but it would be that, like, did you notice Elias Pettersson at all that game?
No.
Yeah, it's just like there hasn't been that dominating against the Leafs, which is nice to see. Gives some hope, but it's also like we need to make some saves. And I thought Jack did a better game, but let's ignore the sad stuff and just get to the best player in the league.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So what's your Austin Matthews hot take right now? Is it even hot?
There are no hot takes. He's literally the best right now. And there's no debating it. Like, people on Twitter, all I see are all of his insane stats, and he's like number 1 in like every important category. So I think right now we have the best player in the NHL on our team.
And he can play defense, because he's only 4 points away from Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, which everyone's saying like, oh, points. But these are all like a lot more goals. And someone tweeted out that like, oh, Austin Matthews had a empty net goal and a power play goal, so he technically only had 1 goal. So I did some looking up on Leon Draisaitl's goal totals.
Oh yes.
And so if you take away Leon Draisaitl's power play goals and empty net goals, he has 18 goals, which is tied with Michael Bunting's 5-on-5 goals. So is Michael Bunting as good as Leon Draisaitl? Is the true question that we
That's
should be
the
asking.
real question. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I always find it funny because it was an Oilers fan that did that, and it's just funny to see logic kind of go back against them because only 18 goals, 5-on-5, whereas Matthews has, I think, 36. I think 36 goals, 5-on-5. So yeah, it's pretty good.
And yeah, speaking of Michael Bunting, like he's impressing me more and more, like every week. Like at first, I'm like, oh, he's just a hard digger, and he's getting great assists, and he get the odd goal. But now he's starting to become like a lethal weapon. Like that assist he had last night, he caught the pass between his legs, like kicked it up to himself, passed it over perfectly across a defender right to Matthews. And that takes real skill. Like this guy's good.
Yeah. It's weird because when Austin Matthews has the puck, he's obviously the best person I've seen that when he has the puck, you just know he's not going to make a mistake and you just feel super confident.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, okay, what's he going to do? It's not like he's going to give away the puck or anything like that. And when he does, he seems to always get it back. Yeah. He's like, you don't take the puck from me.
I will stick check.
Michael Bunting is pretty similar. Like the guy, even if he loses a puck battle, he's going to get the puck back. Like I have a lot of confidence with him handling the puck. And this is going to sound bad. And I trust Mitch Marner a lot with the puck, but I'm almost at the point where Bunting and Marner are pretty equal in my confidence level when they have it.
Because I know Marner will try and force a pass.
Exactly.
And that can lead to some bad giveaways.
Yeah. Like last night when he passed the tic-tac-toe cross back to Matthews, it was like just shoot. Like it would have been a nice goal. And we all would have been like, wow, what a goal if it went in.
Highlight reel.
At some point, you gotta just shoot the puck. Just like Kerfoot can do sometimes, and he'll just like snipe one. Yeah. But then the rest of the time he just doesn't want to shoot.
Yeah, I'll just stick handle it with it until I get hit.
And Bunting said he's the best player in the league. And have you noticed in the past, Leaf players have not gone that direction? They've been like, oh, he's like an amazing player. He's like our best player. But no one really says he's the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Until this year.
I don't think so.
And now Bunting said it. I think Simmons said it. So now it's like more accepted that he could very well be the best player in the league, if not like top one and one with McDavid. But I said in the last podcast, I would rather Matthews than McDavid. Like, and that's like, I don't know if that's Leaf bias, but he's gonna win Hart. He's gonna get 60 goals, and I hope he beats Ovechkin's record in the last. I think he got 65. So that's just our generation of scorers per year.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
But he's not going to beat Wayne Gretzky's record, which I think is like 80 something.
Yeah, it's just
when goalies' pads were like their legs.
The goal nets were bigger.
Yeah. Any other who were your good performers in last game? We'll just start with last game.
The Bush,
the Boosh.
Oh my God, the Boosh, because I say his name differently every time I say it.
Just say the Boosh.
The Boosh, the Russian bear. He ended up with a -1, but he's so awesome. Like, I think he ended the game with like 7 hits. Like he was just crushing guys. And I can't remember if it was last game or the game before where he just nailed that guy out of
in front of the net.
Yeah. I went, that's what we need. And he's doing it. He's doing everything that we wanted in a defenseman.
Yeah.
Every game.
That was what a trade, eh? Getting rid of Nick Ritchie for a guy that can solidify hopefully a third pair in the future, because Dubas has said that he's still going to go out and get a defenseman. Yeah. And it's looking like Muzzin's going to be back before the playoffs, so we're not going to have as much cap space.
I don't like that. He's already skating. I'm like, if we rush him back, he's going to be garbage. And we don't get money.
They won't rush him back. But I feel like it's tough. I honestly don't, because the team, our offense right now, I don't think we need much help. I think Robertson has done awesome in that second role. He almost got another couple goals last night.
Yeah.
He loses some puck battles, but the guy's like 5.
Yeah.
He's gonna do that for his whole career. Like
Yeah.
that's just the way it's gonna be if you're that small of a dude, and he'll get better at it because you can tell that guy's ultra competitive.
Yeah.
And then with Kasha back, like he's playing in the
Yeah, he
fourth
looked
line.
good.
He did not look. He's not a fourth line player.
Mm-mm.
Like, but Engvall is playing so well right now with those guys that it's like, what do you do? What a good problem to have. Like, I don't think we need to go out and get a top 6 guy anymore, and especially with Muzzin coming back. I like it because he'll come back in the stretch of games that are like playoff games. And he'll have had that
True.
break so that in the playoffs he'll be rested.
Yeah.
So like Muzzin will end up having like a 30-game season.
Yeah.
And then you could like play him in a sheltered role, go out and get another top 4 guy, and then you could have like 3 equal pairings because Liljegren and Riley have been playing awesome together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liljegren has been making some he makes glaring mistakes, like he'll fall or like just pass the puck to the other team, but those are the things you notice. But then the rest of the game, he'll make like 2 of those a game. The rest of the game, he's super solid.
Yeah, I feel like in like the defensive zone, like he's really good. He's getting a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, just he'll give it away in the offensive zone every once in a while where you're like,
yeah.
Here's a 2-on-1.
Yeah. And that's I like them together. I would assume when Muzzin comes back, and if they get a top 4 guy, that they'll probably go back to Riley Brody.
Yeah.
But that's available if you want to evenly spread the 3D pair. Let's say you go out and get, I don't know, let's say like a Scott Mayfield. And then you put like Riley Liljegren, Sandin and Mayfield, and then your third pairing is like Hall and Labushkin, or Liljegren and
we got Brody
and Labushkin. You have 3 like very good defensive pairings. Right?
Yeah, which is needed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't mind him coming back, and I also like, who knows, maybe one of his final seasons. Like I think we should all like be like kind of cherish Muzzin while we have him, even if he's not playing his best.
Yeah, because he was so vital.
Yeah, and he was a heart and soul guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
very true.
So yeah, my top performers was not Nylander. That's one of the, I think we'll share him in the poor performers.
Yeah.
Of the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anyone from the top line because that's just a little too obvious. But Engvall, again, like,
good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's getting in. He's being more physical.
Yeah. Finally.
Yeah, for being such a tall dude.
Big guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just love, like, he's seeing the ice well. He seems like him and Mikheyev seem to get like a breakaway each every game, or they're getting like amazing. They just can't score, but like, like if Mikheyev's shown that he can, it's just recently he'll get like 5 scoring chances a game and shoot it right in the goalie's
he should have
pads.
scored last night.
Yeah. And it seems like at the start of the season, I was kind of saying that it seemed like the guys weren't the biggest fans of him, or just like he was just on the outside. Doesn't seem like that anymore. It seems like he's part of the, like, his celebrations are more just like team oriented and stuff. And
like, I feel like the whole dressing room is pretty tight. Yeah. Which I like.
Yeah. And there was another leaf on leaf. I think it was Kerfoot and Marner. And all those are helpful just to see how people view one another in the dressing room. You can kind of see who's friends, how they talk about other people. And they were saying some like pretty like fun words about Mick. So that was good to see. So yeah, nice. I think that whole third line, it just gets my Conf was just defensive, but that's all he needs to be.
Face off guy.
Yeah.
He's been great.
Now, did you have any poor performers?
The shared Willie one for sure. And I think it's time. So Spezza was a healthy scratch last night.
Yeah.
And I think it's time we start swapping Spezza and Simmons around, scratching them, because he's just not contributing to anything. So like, I hate to see it, but like maybe in the playoffs, like he'll be a little more hungry and grittier, whatever his descriptive might be. But I feel like there's other players right now that could help a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, who do you take out when everyone's back and it's not a back-to-back? And I guess we'll find out tomorrow because Kasha is back, and I hope it's not Engvall. Like, yeah, I know what you mean. I think against certain teams, you definitely want to play Simmons.
Yeah,
you know, like I think in that maybe in that final stretch, the playoff-like atmosphere.
Yeah,
like when you're playing the Floridas and guys like that, you want Simmons because other than Simmons, if Muzzin's out, the Boosh is he'll hit you, but he doesn't seem like the type of guy that's gonna like go out of his way to like drop the gloves or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't want to play against a team like Florida or like Tampa and just kind of get bullied around. So but like for Arizona, I would say just like do it. Kind of what you're saying is just like alternate them through, but you still give Kasha nights off here and there because you want him for the playoffs. That's the main thing.
He could have been injured like 3 times last night. Oh my God.
But I think you found a top 6 guy in Robertson. I love that line right now.
Yeah, every game he's getting a couple more minutes. So I think last night he got up to like 13 or something, like quite a bit. So yeah, and he's still playing really well. So increased minutes, still playing well. Yeah, it's only a good thing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to to see how long this, because you notice how at the end of periods or if we're defending a lead, Robertson doesn't see the ice. Kerfoot comes back out with that line. And it'll be one, like, I don't notice him being bad defensively, but defensively, I'm mostly just hoping they don't score. So I'm not paying attention to like all this little things going on. So maybe he's not all there defensively yet, but it'll just be interesting to see when they kind of trust him to see if he can do those roles or if it's going to be one of those things, even the playoffs, that he kind of, for this year anyways, Kerfoot slots back into that role if we're defending a lead or something and Robertson goes down to the 4th, or if we need a lead, if he goes back up to the top 6.
Yeah, this is the stretch where you just keep adding stuff to his plate. So I could see tomorrow him. I think he even had a power play shift last night.
He's on the 2nd unit now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he's just going to keep getting new rules like that, and we'll just keep testing him out. Hopefully. Yeah.
And then the final thing we'll just touch on is goaltending. What is your opinion between the question of it's a goaltender's role to like make saves that aren't necessarily his fault, or is it more the defense's fault in regards to that? Because there's a lot of back and forth on that.
Like I'm caught between, because it's like you want the goalie that has the ability to bail you out, because you should expect to have some of those 2-on-1s and stuff, because that's all the Leafs do for the last century. So like you want a goalie that can just bail you out of those, but you can't expect it every time. So I'm caught between. What's your take?
I'm kind of the same. It's just I have a short memory. I've had a few concussions, so I kind of forget what it was like to have like what Jack was playing like at the start of the year. You know, like was he making those saves that now we wish he was? And like, was it just one of those things where when he was making those saves, we just didn't think any of it because it was like a tip, but it just went into his chest instead of through his legs? You know, like what was the real big difference? Would he have made any saves this game that he did earlier in the season? And it's like hard to analyze that. But all I know is that when we go to the final stretch, we're not going to be scoring 5 goals a game against Tampa all the time or Boston. So something needs to change, but you also can't blame him too much because our defense is pretty banged up right now. We're missing Sandin and Muzzin, and we're trying a lot of new faces and rookies and stuff like that. So,
once the defense is fully healthy, which I don't think you can ever really expect, because I don't know when we have been like fully healthy for a long stretch, which we'll have to do in the playoffs. But yeah, just the confidence needs to come back, or something needs to change. I don't know how you fix a goalie slump other than just keep playing them and hope for the best.
Yeah. And I was happy to see, this is the one good thing about having suits in the stands, just the rich people that don't necessarily follow the Leafs as closely.
Yeah.
Whenever he was making a save, they were still chanting soup.
Yeah.
And I feel like if Leafs Twitter was in the building, that would not have happened. Like, I feel like everyone just hates him now. But like the fact that there's people who are like, will follow hockey, but don't really follow hockey and aren't as like upset by it. They're just still like, but that's what the guy needs, is like people to still support him when he does well and stuff, and show that we haven't given up on him. Because if Jack Campbell went on Leafs Twitter, he would immediately go into a psychiatric ward.
Like a James Reimer situation.
Yeah, it's savage out there.
It is, especially for the goalies.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's so nice. That's why we give him a leadway." It's like, yeah, that's true for me. It's true for me. You just like want to see him succeed so bad.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is, everyone at the start of the year was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to pay him so much money," and now it's like, this could be a bit of a blessing in disguise a little bit, because we're still winning. We're still going to make the playoffs.
Discount.
If he ends up figuring it all out by the playoffs, great. But then Dubas can point towards this in contract negotiations and be like, "Hey,
your save percentage.
Look at your save percentage for these 2 months. How can we give you more than $4 million?" So people, hey, if you want to complain about how much money you have to give a guy, also be kind of happy when things like this go on. If you're just going to talk about contracts and how are we going to sign them, this is a pretty good way.
And we're still in third place.
We're still in third place, and I think we're up for 3 points back from first or something.
I think we're 3 back from second. I'm not sure about first. Maybe 6.
I think we'll get there. That's still my prediction from the start of the season, was Leafs in first place. So we'll get there. All right. That's basically it for us. We'll be back with Dan in the post game for Arizona. Maybe we'll make a trade by then, but if not, we'll go over like our top 5. We'll each individually go through our top 5 trade targets, and we'll just go over them and why we think that those guys will be traded.
And constantly changing.
If you guys have 5 trade targets that you're kind of thinking of in order, post them in the comments. And we'll get to that tomorrow we play Arizona, and we'll do that either tomorrow night or the next day. So we'll see y'all then.
Makes me feel like I can't breathe.